Behind every gym, there's a story, a mission, a spark of passion that started it all. This is Gymdesk Originals. Real owners, real struggles, and the communities they've built from the ground up.
What's up, everybody? Here I am in Milford, Connecticut. Gonna go check out a Renzo Gracie location down here in Milford. Gonna meet with Mark Cerrone and one of Renzo's earliest students back in the city, in New York City. So let's go check it out. Come on. Well, I forgot my belt, so that's not a good start, but luckily someone lent me one, so I got my white belt on, ready for some action. Class starting in about 5-10 minutes. Looking forward to it.
This is our beautiful guest, Alex, here with Jim.
Hi.
Yeah, we met a special guest.
How are you? How are you? Yes. Thank you very much. How are you, sir? Pleasure. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah. Pleasure.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me. Appreciate you inviting me over.
House while you're here, man.
Yeah.
It's your house.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
So just jump right in.
Yes, sir. Mr. Mark, thank you so much.
Alex.
Yes.
It's your house, Alex.
Thank you.
Your house.
Yeah, definitely felt that way today. Very welcoming, super cool vibe. I felt like I was coming home and never been here before.
Yeah.
So it was a nice class too. I just never ceases to amaze me. All the, like, I've been training for a while now, and all the little things, like you asked 3 questions in there. Yeah. Every one of them I got dead wrong.
Well, most of the class did, as you could see. It's kind of like trick questions, right? I knew that they would get them wrong, but it's designed to help them learn stuff.
Yeah, no, it was very instructional, and I love the drilling, and so anyways, it was a great class. I love your space. Love to learn all about, Milford location. You have another location as well, so let's unpack that a little bit. Or maybe we can start with you. For some folks who have maybe followed my journey, I used to train at Renzo's in New York City way back when I was a young man. Many moons ago. And I just had the privilege of going back there again. I think it was about a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
So I trained with Professor Mike.
Iramello, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the same vibe, right? It's still the same vibe as when you went there 15 years ago. That's what part of makes our team unique. It's just that vibe, that family vibe that's always there.
Yeah. That was great experience as well. But I have a feeling I probably ran into you way back in the day because you've been training there for a long time.
And especially back then, I was there almost every day back then. So
yeah.
Definitely ran into me.
Yeah.
So, probably in the night classes, I remember being there a lot at that time. So,
yeah. So tell us about your journey. How you got into martial arts and all that.
So I originally got into it. Just a friend said to me, "Hey, did you see what's on pay-per-view? There's this crazy tournament. It's called the UFC. And this was UFC 1 we're talking. So this was 94. And I'm like, no, I haven't seen this. So I look and I'm like, wow, I just couldn't believe this skinny little guy with the gi on was just tapping everybody out. So I was like, I have to learn this. So at the time in 94, there was nothing there. The only school there was really the one in California in Torrance, which is Hoyce's school. On the East Coast, there was pretty much nothing at all and no Gracies. So I was out of luck. So what I would do is I used to get Inside Kung Fu in black belt magazines. In every single month in those magazines, there was articles in the back. Inside Kung Fu had Renzo Gracie that was a columnist, a paid columnist. So we'd write one little article per month, 1 page only, and it would be some message about jiu-jitsu and maybe a little technique. In Black Belt magazine, it was Renzo Gracie that wrote the article. And that was the only knowledge that the entire East Coast had for jiu-jitsu at the time from the Gracies. So I would learn through this. And then while I was flipping through the magazine one month, I looked and it said, Renzo Gracie coming to New York City. And this was about a year and a half later, right? And I saw that ad and I went right down there. I was about just turning 17. So my parents thought I was completely nuts.
Yeah.
Right? I'm telling them I want to go do strangulations in some random place in New York City and they want me to go to college. It was like a war. Like they were completely against it. But I persisted and I just kept going, and that's how it started.
I'm trying to imagine myself being 16 or 15 and just like going to the back, just being like a super fan without even having a place to go do it.
That was it.
And then announcement coming to your town, you must have been like,
I couldn't believe it. At first I thought it was fake, and I thought it was like a fake guy or something. It wasn't really Gracie. And I look, it says Renzo, and I'm like, oh, I only know of Hoist. So how am I going to find out? And I did a little research and come to find out he was related directly to Hoist. So it was legit, and I was all in.
So you start training when Renzo opens his spot at some point pretty early on.
Yeah.
And I guess John was there when you were
I'm down to her. Yeah.
down there. And what was the vibe like back then?
The vibe back then was amazing.
It was just like 96, 97?
Yes, 96 is when it first started, late 95. And it was amazing. I mean, what I remember from back then is a very distinct mindset. And it was a revolutionary mindset. We were a group of revolutionaries almost, because the world was completely against MMA at the time. It was illegal in 48 states. They demonized it. They thought it was awful. So it was almost us against the world. That's how we felt, right? Everyone inside of that room. It's funny when we kind of, link back up nowadays, we always talk about that feeling that we all had, where it was us against the world. We would go out, even if we were going to dinner, right, in the city after training, we would all go with t-shirts on representing the academy. And sometimes people would just challenge us in the restaurants, right? So it was like, not only were people coming in and challenging us all the time,
Into the school.
oh yeah, back then it was a regular thing for people to just walk in and say, hey, this just doesn't work. I don't think it works. I want to try it out. Yeah, so it would be.
No kidding.
Yeah, because back then they had the Active Gracie Challenge, right? Which was an early challenge that the Gracie family put out and said, hey, if you don't think this works, come into any one of our academies and you could find out, basically. And so a lot of people did take up that offer and just walked in. At the same time, culture didn't accept it at all. It was illegal. The sports culture definitely didn't accept it, right? There was no such thing as kids' classes or anything. Everybody thought it was so brutal.
Yeah.
The wrestlers hated it, right? So we really had to prove ourselves through MMA in just persistence of just, driving it into the culture. It was really about breaking into the culture. So that's why I say revolutionary, because at the time it was a revolutionary idea. This mixed martial arts thing as a whole is a revolution in martial arts, right? That has emerged now in these 1995, right? So it was a very unique time and set the foundation for what it is now, right?
So do you feel like a constant state of like alertness at this point in your life? Because you're just like, you never know when someone's going to get you. And
yeah, I mean, that comes with just knowing jiu-jitsu for so long.
Yeah.
You're always in a reactive state where you're kind of ready. I mean, you're used to your guys in training just coming out of nowhere and jumping on you out of nowhere, start mounting you and playing games. So you're kind of always ready for that. And that's what jiu-jitsu gives you, the confidence to always feel confident and always be ready to, have to defend yourself if you need to.
So when you're getting a challenger to come in, are we talking about like all kinds of different,
Like back in the day,
like boxers, kicking,
oh,
guys, taekwondo guys, karate guys, wrestlers?
I remember one time, this was Renzo's first academy on 27th Street, and Matt Serra was getting ready for an underground MMA fight. At the time, it was completely legal, right, to do MMA, but they had amateur. There was a couple loopholes. When they wrote the laws of MMA, they said no professional MMA in New York. So which left a loophole of amateur MMA being able to be legal. So even back in the early days, there was amateur MMA events in New York City in the underground. He was preparing for one of these underground fights way before the UFC, well, before he was in the UFC. And yeah, some guy just came in off the streets in jeans and was like, yeah, this shit doesn't work at all. And Renzo's like, hey, you want to come out and do it? And at the time, Matt was literally sparring for the event, getting ready. So he's like, yeah, I'll go out there. So the guy goes right out in the jeans.
No.
Yeah, and just goes. And I remember Matt Serra guillotining him like 4 times in a row, fast. And the guy's like, he keeps choking me from the same direction. And they're like, yeah, man, well, hey, this is MMA, He's trying to throw a blow, Matt came in, tried to take him down. He would try to take Matt down and then just Matt catch him with the guillotine, So this happened a lot, though. This would happen a lot. John Donaher has a lot of stories about this as well, where people would just come in and challenge him out of nowhere. Yeah. So it's pretty crazy what you're going to see, especially in New York City, right? This is New York City in the 90s. So you would see a very special breed coming in to that place.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I too was, I grew up in the, Karate Kid and,
Blood sport.
Three Ninjas or all these kid movies that everyone's doing kicks, flying around. I was super fan of like Kung Fu theater in the Bay Area, and I've watched like old Chinese movies. And so I had a Taekwondo belt, black belt.
Oh, okay. I didn't know this.
Okay. So undefeated.
Oh, wow. All right.
So it was like 18.
Hard to do. Taekwondo is a vicious art, man. It's very hard.
Yeah. Well,
very hard. Some of the craziest TKOs I've ever seen are in Taekwondo.
Oh, yeah.
Very
good. You get nailed with the
kicks they have are just unbelievable. Force they have.
I was walking around with a certain set of confidence, right? And then I too watched UFC and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Right. So I switched to the only thing I had in the Bay Area was the local schools. I'm from San Jose, South State judo team. So I went from undefeated to a lap belt.
Cool, man. Judo. Yeah.
Every jerk.
Hardcore.
I mean, for almost 2 years, I just
one of the most hardcore sports there is judo.
Yeah, a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. So that's my journey. Then I trained. Actually, I trained with Saulo.
Oh yeah, Saulo Ribeiro.
Yeah, down in San Diego.
His brother.
He came to the San Diego Judo School that I was practicing at, and he opened
the best competitors ever.
First jiu-jitsu place was right.
Oh yeah, right there.
Right when he first started.
He's big.
Yeah. And then I moved in and started doing them.
And his brother Shanji is another champion. Yeah. Those guys are legends.
Yeah,
they are.
So that's my journey. But what about yours? Like you've been with Renzo, and now you got a position as COO. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, this is more of my own organization, the Renzo Gracie Worldwide, which is we're just branching out and stuff. But yeah, for a while I was the assistant director of the Renzo Gracie Association, which is the board that governs it. Now his daughters kind of run everything for him, which is the best. It's nothing like family watching it over for you. But
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I did that for a long time, and yeah, just oversaw everything that's going on, and just the growth that our academy, our team has done over the past 30 years is just remarkable. We went from that one little gym in Manhattan to now over 300. I think there's 312 academies worldwide. Yeah. And we're in every continent, every country. We're all over the place. I mean, we're in Japan. We have one in Vietnam, France, Spain, everywhere you could think of, Russia, so that's what's been like kind of remarkable for me is having that revolutionary mindset in the beginning, fighting, and then finally just seeing what it's become now. It's just remarkable.
From the newspaper to now you have your own 2 schools. And now it's worldwide, over 300 locations. That's amazing. Tell me about your journey and like when you decided, I want to open my own school. Yeah. What came first, Milford?
Milford was first, yeah. And my vision or my goal when I entered jiu-jitsu was always the same. It was just to spread the art. When I saw what happened in UFC 1, I said that I wanted to learn that. I wanted to become a master, and I wanted to also spread that, right? Because I knew that there was no access to it. So I wanted to be part of the team that led that growth spurt that would kind of populate the East Coast. That was always our vision, right? We all stayed on that vision for many, many years. And that was really the basis of why I wanted to do it, is just to spread the art. We saw what kind of benefits it does for people, from children who are just, getting bullied, all the way until the most advanced law enforcement guys that need it to direct operations, or it's just such a critical part of society. So that's why I was so into just making it spread. And that was really my goal, right? So it aligned with Renzo's goal, with John Donaher's goal, with all of the teachers' goals that really wanted to spread it with me, So we all aligned together and just pushed hard. And now here we are.
Yeah. You say you opened this place first.
Yes.
You get it to a certain critical mass, and will you just happen to be going back and forth between those 2 places, or how did it happen?
So this is a interesting story. I was going to open up my second location actually in Greenwich, Connecticut.
Okay.
But what happened is the COVID, and they shut us down here. They shut us down for 2 years. We were shut down.
This location as well?
Almost 2 years. This location, yes. This was before Naples. I just had this one location. I was ready to open up a second one. I was going to do it here in Connecticut, and they shut us down. So it was about 1.5 years. And during that time frame, I said, I'm going to try something new. I want to try a new area. I want to try a new demographic. I was a little nervous, honestly, on what might happen in the future, and was thinking about my kids growing up and where they might be, and just wanted to make sure that I secure all bases, being how crazy the world is. And it sucks that I even have to kind of talk about this, right? About politics or whatever, but that was a choice that made me, or a decision that I had to make based on thinking about the future, you know? So it was a scary time back then. Things were heading to a scary place, and I just wanted to be on the safe side, kind of. So
How'd you pick Naples and not Fort Lauderdale or Miami? Or
good question. So I actually looked, and I focused on trying to find where in Florida needed jiu-jitsu the most. So I looked for the biggest holes. I found out that there was pretty much 3 areas that I was looking at, 2 on the East Coast and then 1 on the West Coast of Florida in Naples. Then I'm zooming in on the map there, and I see Marco Island. So I'm looking, I'm like, Marco Island. Well, my son's name is Marco. So I'm like, this gotta be a sign. So I just picked there, and that was it. So it was pretty much an emotional response at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I did narrow it down to 3, and then I took an emotional route. Yeah, the son's name. So that's why I chose that place.
So how many children do you have?
I have 2 twin boys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Age
13
13.
years old.
They practice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been training jiu-jitsu since they were 4.
Okay.
Jiu-jitsu and wrestling.
How'd that work out at 4?
So I have 4, and we have our 3 to 5-year-old class here, which is one of our most popular classes. At that age, it's really, some of them are pre-K, some of them kindergarten. So at that age, it's really about just getting them to listen, and to stand still and maybe do one move, and it's like, great, because at that age, especially pre-K, they just don't listen, and this is something that we have to instill even in parents, because parents come in and they think like if their kids are being a little wild or bad, that there's something wrong with them, right? And they're born good and they're kind of getting wild, so they have to come and fix. When in fact, it's the actual opposite. Like, kids are the most violent offenders on earth. Like, they steal, kick, punch, lies, get mad, they're jealous, they punch, it's just so they're born wild, and we have to kind of civilize them a little bit, so.
Emotional regulation. Yeah, my wife talks about that all the time.
It's very difficult to do, but that's what we do here. So that's what, in the beginning, it was all that kind of stuff, just getting them to,
Yes.
some kind.
So my oldest is 8, and and then my youngest is 3.
Oh, so you got a young one.
Yeah, when my oldest was only child at that time, the sport, I tried to train him. It was like so frustrating for me.
Yeah.
Because it was only him and me and a little dojo attached to my house. So yeah. And, but yeah, I couldn't get him for
That's
that
gonna
at
be tough.
all. He was like this. So I kind of gave up for like a year, but then I said, let me bring your buddies in. And then I switched to, so let's make it fun and maybe sprinkle a little martial art of some kinds. Yeah, getting a side kick or we're doing some judo or whatever. And then that changed it. Now he loves it. So
Have you had friends?
he's got friends, and it was less regimen. I think as you progress later, you can add that. So
Yeah.
wish I'd known that before.
Yeah, man, me too. At that age, when you're young, it's like, I wish I knew when I was younger, or my parents knew. But back then, there was nothing like that, right?
Yeah. Nope.
We were lucky to have karate back then.
That's right.
In those days.
And so where did you grow up?
So I grew up in West Haven, which is a town over here.
Okay.
Yeah, about 15 minutes from here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's another thing I didn't add into the equation, was when I read that article and I saw that, I was living in West Haven, which is an hour and 45 minutes away. So at 16, I used to take the train.
No way.
Yep. I used to take the train every single day. So I'd work all day. I'd get on the train at 4 o'clock, hit Manhattan about 6:30, and walk to the 7 o'clock class. I'd get there, every single day, train there and back. And I did that for 12 years, 12 years straight. 4 or 5 days, bare minimum 4 days a week, then went to 5. Then after 12 years, when I was, already like legit and high level, I ended up getting a little apartment there for 3, I think maybe a year and a half, 2 years. I had an apartment there, but that was it after the 12 years.
Yeah. That's dedication, man. I mean, I'm over here complaining about 20 minutes to drive because I'm in the middle of nowhere, but you're traveling that far because there's little else.
Well, that's the thing. It was that or nothing, right? So it's like, yeah, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And everybody thought I was crazy. Every human that I knew, I mean, my entire family, every girlfriend that I had, I mean, I had girlfriends leave me and everything, thought I was completely nuts, you know? And yeah, it turned out to be against everyone's. It turns out you don't want to bet against me. It's not a smart thing to do, I guess, huh?
I hear a female voice saying, "Oh, why don't you marry your jiu-jitsu?" Does that ever happen?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, you love it more than you love me. All this kind of stuff I would get.
So that explains why you would go back home and open up somewhere near where you grew up.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's why I wanted to actually be the first. My goal was to be the first one in Connecticut.
Okay.
At the time.
Got it. And you're now fourth degree?
Fourth degree, yes.
Fourth degree black belt. Right.
See, fifth degree, I think next year.
Yeah.
30 years it'll be next year.
Yeah.
Training jiu-jitsu.
So you've had some, there's medals everywhere, right? Tell us about the professional side. What you've done.
Yeah. So, we built a little empire here, right? With the team. We've had many competitors come out of here, a lot of jiu-jitsu guys, a lot of MMA guys. I've worked extensively with MMA guys here. I work with 5 different UFC champions, so Hall of Fame champions. I worked with 5 of them, actually. So it wasn't just George St. Pierre. I worked with Frankie Edgar, worked with Chris Weidman. So all these guys together, and these guys were in the same room at the same time, too. Yeah. You remember, I think this was around back then, right? You used to see George in there, you said?
Yeah.
But it'd be George, Frankie Edgar, George St. Pierre, Frankie Edgar, Chris Weidman walking in there, beating everybody up. It was insane. Renzo Gracie, all in the same room. Gordon, little Gordon, though, right? Gordon Ryan was like a purple belt back then in the room, though.
I feel like I never rolled against GSD, but I was always like starstruck because he's like one of my, like the guy is just so the humble, and like I don't know him personally, but I just like he's like one of my favorite UFC guys.
Yeah.
So I remember that. I'm like, oh man, that's, but I didn't want to like bother him. Right. And I'm pretty sure I rolled, because I remember a guy I had like, it was like, sorry, man, I didn't mean to waste your time. No, it was Gordon Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And the guy was just a tank back then too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like, sorry, dude, I know I'm terrible compared to you.
Yeah. This was what, like 2012, 2013?
Yeah, that's about when I was there.
It's big back then.
Yeah.
And that's when it was that room was just amazing.
Yep.
It's an amazing room back then. And that's where, you'd have every single round was just a death round, man.
Yeah.
You'd have a round with GSP. The next round, you'd have to go with Gordon Ryan. Then the next one, Gary Tonin. Then after that, Frankie Edgar, So it was like, man, for me, it was tough being those training partners. I got to be honest, but it was the best time of my life. And honestly.
Yeah. So how do you keep in touch with all these folks like on a regular basis?
Oh, yeah.
What do you do, like once a week?
Yeah, not really once a week. And, it's just always sporadic.
Yeah. What's up, dude? How you doing?
Yeah. But it's always, we're all one tight circle. That's the good part of it. Like all of their lineage is all tied into ours and all traces back to that blue basement there,
Yeah.
So it's just one, like we say, circle, right? So we're always together, no matter how far apart, no matter if we're not talking for a couple of weeks or whatever. It's always good vibes. The second we pick up, it's right where we left off.
So tell me now about your vision here. So you got 2 locations.
Yeah.
Are you trying to open more? Or
Yeah. We're going to do a few more in Florida, and now considering another one back here now that everything's kind of calmed down. Right. Mm-hmm. And we're very optimistic. We're trying to get everybody together, and that's what we do in jiu-jitsu, right? Jiu-jitsu is all about unity. And that's the beautiful part about here is you walk in and it doesn't matter what your background is, what kind of politics you're in. It's all one big family here.
Yeah.
And I believe that jiu-jitsu now is more important than ever because of all the crazy stuff going on. Mm-hmm. Jiu-jitsu truly does unite people, right? And also helps us understand that trial and error in science is really what works, right? What works on the mat is super scientific. Like there's no faking getting out of the mount. There's no lying or bullshitting your way out. There's only what works and what doesn't work, right? So it kind of grounds us in this scientific approach of problem solving, which is just kind of looking at the truth at all times, right? There's no way to deny it. So I think that is what society needs more than ever. So we're focused, me and my team right now, on just building the next generation super strong and just, taking it to the next level.
Yeah. Are you doing anything outside of, the gym dojo to foster that community?
I am. And I'm actually working on one of the biggest projects ever. I actually haven't talked about it at all Like, I haven't even mentioned it at all. So this is going to be the first time I actually do discuss this, but it is something that is absolutely going to be historic. So we're going to be the first jiu-jitsu team to actually be in a high school in the United States.
Wow.
So yeah, there's no jiu-jitsu in high schools right now, right? There's no jiu-jitsu anywhere in the entire country as far as school is concerned.
Right.
But other countries like Abu Dhabi and the UAE out there, they've had jiu-jitsu in schools for about 15 years now. And all the data is back, right, on this stuff. And these kids are just, it produces just like a 18% increase in just math scores alone, right? The attendance skyrocketed. So the, people dropping out and not showing up for classes, the attendance just skyrocketed about, I think, 15%. There's just so much data that proves that there's just so many benefits to jiu-jitsu in schools. And when I say we started as revolutionaries, just trying to get in society, this was our end goal, right? It's to get in society completely. That means the public. It was really a three-pronged approach is what we mapped out almost 30 years ago, which is the public, law enforcement, right, and military, which is the strongest of the strong, and then the children, right? And we've been successful getting it into law enforcement and the military. It's been there for years now, but the school has always been a complete battle.
Yeah.
But we have officially cracked it, okay? And we've struck a deal where we're going to be the first jiu-jitsu school in the entire country, and that's going to start in November at a school here in Connecticut.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's just like a soccer, football. It's an elective sport. You go, there's practice 5 days a week. There's competitions. It's a team. Everything all set. So yeah, it's going to be the very first one in the entire United States, and that's in November.
I bet there's a kid there just like you. Is like, I can't believe it's coming to my school.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. When we announced it, so we get an announcement at the school, and literally that's what I told the school administrators. I was blown away at the response. We announced it. We just expected some response. When we announced it, they cheered like it was like they had won $1,000. I couldn't believe it. Like they would really. It was like a loud cheer all collectively together, so that response was just remarkable to us as the staff. So,
and since you've been doing it so long, you probably have tons of stories of kids that have gone through your program.
Yes.
And the transformative chores there, right?
Correct.
And you're now going to be able to sprinkle that into schools. That must make you feel like.
Yeah, it's an amazing feeling to be able to do that. And we're going to push it to the next level. And, what we're doing is we're mapping it out where we kind of have taken the it's very easy to do once we've figured out that we can actually map it almost like wrestling is. Mm-hmm. So wrestling has been in the school sports for 100 years. Mm-hmm. So we kind of took that mapping to map jiu-jitsu into the school, and combined with, the Gracie family and just getting it all together, it's going to be something really revolutionary, I think. Yeah.
Gi, no gi, folks.
Gi. It's going to be gi. Right. And we decided to do the gi just for the values, right? The tradition of martial arts, and, really to get them immersed into the real culture of it. So yeah, that's going to start in November, and that's going to be a remarkable program.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear more. I'll keep in touch about
it's going to be cool.
Maybe if you don't mind going back to 2 schools, maybe 3 and 4.
Yes.
How do you, I did this when actually I lived in Miami for 10 years.
Oh, I didn't know this.
So this was
a fun life down there.
Right life. I had right in South Beach, and I had restaurants.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good place to have restaurants.
With an S, So
plural.
Hard. The first one I was there, I basically took a year off my career in software to do that. It was like during the big crash.
Oh, back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day. When did I start? 2011, 2010. Somewhere around there. Something was going on. It was just a good time to, let me go do something. So I started. It was wildly successful. It was actually the first plant-based in Miami.
No way.
Yeah. And it was actually, there was one before, but this was like cooked food. Basically New York style vegan.
And it blew up down there.
Blew up. Like people at the door lining. And then we kind of had we're forced to open a second because we were so successful, but they sold the building under us. Oh. And so I lost my lease. I'm like, so now I have to open 2 locations. But then, people complain. Like, I'm at this one. They're like, hey, bro, where were you? I'm like, oh, dude, I was working 13 hours over there.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I wanted to be in both, but I couldn't. So how do you do? I mean, literally, you see 2 different states.
Yes. And that is the most important question. How, right? what I can say is this: it would not be possible at all without a complete rock star team around me. And that's the reality of it. It's impossible without rock stars around you, and you need a group of A players around you. I would not be able to do anything that I do at any location, even including this one, without a really solid, strong team around me. You know, like you saw the guys Kubi in there and some of the instructors around, and even Christina here with the filming. It's like always people around us that actually make it all happen. You know, I would never be able to do it, as you know, right? It's like impossible. You have to have people that are dependable. And that's the hardest part as well.
For sure.
It is the absolute hardest part on earth. It's only getting harder now.
Yep.
But they are out there, you know, just like I was out there back then looking, you know, just for that one opportunity. Because when I saw the opportunity, I just thought it was the biggest opportunity of my life. And there are people that are still out there like that, but it's just not too many.
Yeah.
So it's hard to find.
Yeah, I have horror stories of like finally taking a vacation with my wife, and we
Getting a call 5 seconds
we
later.
were in another state, and the person quit. She was one of our managers. So we basically shut down.
I've had this while I was out of state too.
Yeah.
I've had, as a matter of fact, so that's the thing. It's another part of it is just not giving up, man.
Yeah.
Right? I've had 2 managers do that same exact thing in Florida. 2 managers just completely quit out of nowhere. Yeah. And one of them was, first a hurricane hit us and closed us for 2 weeks. And then that person quit the day we opened back up.
Oh, no.
So it was like, yeah, you just have to be able to depend on people.
Yeah.
And most people you really can't, you know?
Yep.
But when you do find that chemistry, that synergy, that's really what synergy is. You know, it's just when people work together, it creates more power. It's just and that's a science, right? It's synergy is a real thing. The sum of, 2 or 3 people together is way stronger than each individual.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, especially if you're all going after a collective goal.
Yes.
And
one goal, which is hard to do.
Yeah. Mission-based always helps. Love to know more about how you found us. How'd you find
Gymdesk? Yeah. So originally, that's a great question. I really didn't even think about that. So Gymdesk originally, so I did hear about you guys about maybe a year ago,
okay,
but not too much. And then I called my friend Holes Gracie, and Holes said, I'm switching software right now. And I had called him because I was complaining about my studio, honestly. Yeah. In my studio, I've had a really bad experience with these people. I mean, it's just like, they're just, I don't know. They dropped the ball on us so many times. We had projects like on the table and they just never call back. Oh. It's just a lot of dropped customer service stuff. So we chose to leave them. And I called up Holes because I knew he used to be with my studio years ago. So I'm like, hey man, what are you doing? Where are you at now with software? And he goes, oh, I'm going with Gymdesk. They're the best. You have to try them out. So I'm like, oh, really? They're the best? He goes, yeah. Now, Holes, Gracie, obviously, he's a legend, obviously. He's in the Gracie family, and this is somebody that was in the room back then in the late 90s at that revolutionary table, right, with all of us. And now part of that revolution and coming up, and like I said, breaking into society, was learning about how to run a martial art academy. So I would argue that we have like the most experience on earth where it's running academies.
Right.
Because we started when there was no such thing as any software at all. Then we worked with the very first software company, EFC.
Oh, yeah.
Right? They used to just completely rob everybody blind and just like, and we gradually saw the evolution of the software companies over the decades, right? Also, while we're fine tuning our own academies and finding the right franchise model to work worldwide, we've always been super on top of the most innovative softwares and where it is. And with software in martial arts, it's almost like the sport of MMA, how it's evolving at different levels, at different areas, at different times. It was always an evolution. So EFC, for instance, they just charged and you had no access to nothing.
Yeah. They
would just send you your money. Then like a company later, I think it was MindBody or something came out and you were able to have a software and see it, but you still couldn't control anything. right? Then my studio came out with their software. You can control everything and pass the credit card processing on, which nobody else did. So that was one step up, right? So it was always one step up, everyone. But you guys kind of tied it all together, and now it's becoming just like MMA, where it's everything is leveled out now. And now, so it's who's offering the best product, which you guys do. The way that this software is just really innovative. Everything that we need is there. The way the attendance works, that was something that's you guys evolved kind of more than anybody, which is the attendance tracking and how it looks on the app. Everything counts, especially with us. We're very focused on branding.
Yeah.
So just the fact that you can have your app on the home screen, right? That logo on there is big on everybody's home screen in the academy, just that logo there. Never mind when you click on it, you're able to see the actual belt color, right? No other app had that, which is that little visual is an innovation that keeps pushing, the companies higher. So you guys are just on point. And I would just say now, because you now have the asset of having us on board, right? Listen to our direction of where it's going, right? So if you see things that are evolving elsewhere, jump on it before somebody else does,
Yeah, continuous innovation. That's a big thing for us. And, that's why I love coming out here and talking to customers. And
stay on top of it.
Right on the mat. And we hear about what needs are evolving in the market.
And if I could just say one last thing about that, the most important thing I believe about that, throughout the 30 years, we've seen companies grow and fall, so many of them, and they all have the same thing, a reason why they fall, and it's just stagnation. They all stop. They stop innovating. Like you said, they innovated to that next level and it looked all promising, and then they just stopped. They played defense, the whole time, and not offense, and just keep innovating.
Well, hopefully you'll see us continue to do that. We're
looking great, man.
We've ramped up our team too. So maybe a lot of people don't know that, but I've been here for about a year now, and that's what I've been doing. The company's now 4 times bigger, and added a bunch of engineers. That's what we're doing. Listening to, hey, what do you guys need, and putting it into the product, and all that. So
it's just how to make the member experience better.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yep. For sure. So our little mantra now that we're using for our company mission is less admin, more members.
Yeah.
If we can do that, I think people will be happy, right? So
absolutely, right. Absolutely.
Well, guys, is there anything else you want to share with folks?
Oh, it's about it. I do recommend Gymdesk. I think it's a great product, and I think everybody should go with it. We're preaching about it, trying to tell everybody to go. As the headquarters now is going to be switching over. So
pretty soon. I think we're just maybe a month or so away from. Yeah.
They're a big academy, so it's going to be a big deal. But
great. We're talking about it earlier. I had my little reunion or what have you. I had a class with Coach Mike J down there about a month and a half ago, and just brought back a ton of memories. Even in that basement, it was fun. How often do you get out there?
I'm there like once a month.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I'm back and forth with the Florida stuff and the fight camps here, So
and your kids and wife are here.
They're here, yeah.
Okay, so then you go down there and you're away.
And then I come right back.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So when I'm there, I'm only there for like a couple of days and then come back. Yeah. And once a month I go down there. So and I got that team down there that's doing it, and we're gonna be growing. Well, but thanks for coming, man. This is your house. Anytime you're here, feel free to stop in.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, bud.
Thank you so much for hosting and for having me here today.
Yeah, thank you, bud.
Another great role at Renzo Gracie. I'm in Milford, Connecticut with Professor Mark's class. It was amazing. Thank you so much. See you guys.